ex-international superstar, Jimmy Conrad.
Superstar's a strong word. Well, I'm not going to disagree.
Superstar in my eyes,
okay,
mate. That's
appreciate
good.
that.
You're someone who's been involved in all levels of the game and now spend your time doing what? Tell us a bit about.
I put on a clown nose and clown shoes and make videos that try to bring some lightness to some of the seriousness that happens in soccer. Not to say we're tackling serious subjects, but people get so worked up about what Carlos Tevez does. And so we try to find, the lighter side of that. It's not as easy on YouTube where you can be anonymous. The comments, whatever, you get thick skin and it is what it is. I have other interests as well. I do run soccer camps for kids, do some philanthropic work as well. I'm always trying to figure out ways to continue to grow this game in this country.
Best player you've ever played against?
Zinedine Zidane.
Best goal you were ever on the pitch to see?
The Brazilian Ronaldo.
Wow. The original, real Ronaldo.
Yeah, the real legit guy. So I got to play against Real Madrid in 2005 at the Bernabeu, and I learned more in those 90 minutes than I did in like years and years of playing. The ball got played over the top, and Roberto Carlos, left back, had run onto it. Beckham had played it, Roberto Carlos. So me and Pablo Mastroianni are like, tracking back, and Ronaldo was in front of me by a step. So, I'm not going to argue. The guy's already faster than me, but he turns, looks at me, and gets his hand and sticks it right in my throat to create even another yard of space. And I was so pissed because I thought, I try to play the game somewhat fair, and especially if there's moments where he's already got me beat. To take another advantage, I thought was another level. And so I learned from that. And so I became a little bit more ruthless after that game.
Progress in the MLS, the 20th franchise, New York City Football Club.
I think it's a good thing. Anytime you can have owners like the Yankees and Manchester City invest in your product is a good thing. And I think it's going to up the expectation level. They're going to come in and think, all right, listen, we've seen how it works elsewhere, either in baseball or over in England, and this is how the league should be. This is where things should be. And I think it's going to push the envelope a little bit. Maybe some rules will change and allow more player flexibility. I just think it's going to add a level of professionalism to all facets. And to give you an example, David Beckham, from a player perspective, did a really good job of coming in and going, that's not how it works. That's not how players should be treated. And all of a sudden, all of his players got treated a lot better, in a large part because of him. And obviously things were changing, we were evolving, and we had our own union, our collective bargaining agreement. Things just had to get better for everybody. Players, staff, everybody. But I think that'll happen now at the owner level, which will continue to push this league where it needs to go to continue to grow in the right way.
Do you think that having an owner like Sheikh Mansour, it will mean they'll be able to attract a certain type of player?
I would like to think that. I actually had the benefit of speaking with Claudio Reyna today. So I'm sure they'll give him the opportunity and the decision-making, give him the power to decide who he wants within reason. If you're going to have a player that's awesome, he's probably going to go to Manchester City. And that's where the benefit of the relationship maybe doesn't work. We need stars here as well to help grow the game. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. And first and foremost, for them, they need to build a stadium. They need to get that done. It's going to really look minor league if they're playing at a temporary home at a college.
Freddie Adu?
Yes.
Who's billed as like this superb youngster.
Yeah. Since we're not the best, our league isn't the best here, and our national team isn't the best, anytime there's a kid who has the opportunity to have that potential to be the best and compete against the best players in the world, we're already ready to hype him. So Freddie Adu happened to get caught in that cycle. Would his career have changed if that didn't happen? I know him, so I don't know.
Okay.
Mentally, he knew he was good, so he had that confidence and that swagger that's necessary. As you start to get that kind of pressure and expectation. But he wasn't really ready to work through some of the adversity that was going to happen to anybody as you become a professional. You're going to hit obstacles. There's going to be days where you're not good enough, and how are you going to fight through that? And so he didn't fight that very well. But we do have a tendency here of hyping up the next big thing. So for a while it was Juan Aguadella. For a while it was Breck Shea. Josie Altidore went through it.
Josie looks immense.
Right now. Teal Bunbury was another guy. And we're always ready, who's the next big thing? And then we hype them, and then there's just too much pressure on them. They're not ready for that yet. And then they've got nowhere to go but what? Down, because they've already been pushed to the top unfairly. So it's a vicious cycle. It's part of the hype machine that is necessary for us to continue to get attention as a sport in this country. And And I think if we were already given that respect, we wouldn't feel so compelled to do that all the time. But because we're trying to win over the casual fan, we want to make sure we get a name out there that people are familiar with, who maybe have only had one good game in their life at the highest level. And so it's frustrating, and that's why guys like Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan and Michael Bradley are so valuable, because they've taken on that burden and continue to produce. Yeah, that's it. Anybody happy with it? Did I miss anything?
Jimmy, absolute pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
Sweet one.
HughWizzy.
Awesome.
So I dropped off a little bit so that Zidane couldn't play that initial ball. But then once he took that extra touch, and then I stepped up to play Raul offsides, and then Zidane couldn't do either one, and he played backwards, and I was like, yes! Yes! Because I made him think, and I made him think twice, and then he had to play the option that he didn't want to play.
Yes.
And it's like such a champion.
Jimmy.
That meant a lot that I at one point outthought. So I don't know if I actually outthought him because he still kept possession of the ball, but I feel like I challenged him mentally, and I made him do exactly what that I wanted him to do, and given the situation. So that was a big deal for me.